Yo, my people, my people. I know soon I go surprise. Say we are back, on JP Life to our platform. And actually, it be like saying by surprise now we take catch you now. But all the same now you surprise catch us because I know that you guys have been waiting for us to kickstart our JP Life again. And importantly, because we know say they enjoy the program all this while. But today, as usual, know say it get people where we they see where we not fit undermine, or you get people where we will need to ask questions where we know we fit undermine, and all of us still not say we all they work for here, and work and every other thing they take our time, and it gets some kind of people where we say you go see say they do some kind of good things for the society, not only in Italy here, Europe or anywhere, the world at large that you must of course want to know how far they do their thing. And that is why today we are here again. And I will permit to make una let us know, say, this program exclusively as CBC one use one start, we go use some kind of grammar today, make una forgive us. And our teaming fans were not there with us, were there with us all this while. I beg, make una bear with us. And in the same vein, I want to thank all of una for our patience. And we look forward to a better JP Life right now. And I know say the thing don't taste small, and our engineer travel, me travel, the JP Life crew then travel. The matter just can't get us a bit. But this time around, I think we are going to start again. It might not be the way it be before, saying every week. But however, we will get some kind of thing where we need to talk about, we'll be here again. I beg, we don't first remove us as friends. Make una add us again, I beg. Because there's something that we need to talk about every day. So today I get one kind of bunge matter where I want to discuss today, and as somebody where if we don't start the matter now, you will not know. You're not there with us here, but now audio. Now we will talk to them, and when I go to see me, but now audio, when I will see a picture for there too, so that when I will fit know the caliber of person where we want to discuss with. This person, make a first let you know, now my own teacher be that. Teacher now it be for me, and I be happy if I dey interview him because now say the person where teach person song, that person they resemble. So I'm very sure. Today is going to be an interesting day where a student they ask a papa question, they ask a teacher question. You go take know whether the work where he teach me, he enter my body or he not doing well, so that he go feel they teach me well. So all the same, I want you guys to come with me. If you want to enjoy an evening, please make you just carry popcorn, biscuit, chin, anything you feel carry. Make you just sit down with a bottle of Coke, and the way they sip small wine like Prosecco, just take small, make you sit down, so that we go interview this gentleman. Where he be say he they do many things, and we need to sell him to the world because not be easy things now they do. So, engineer, are we ready? So let us synchronize to our guest for today. So our viewers, good afternoon, and welcome to JP Life as usual, a program where we discuss people that matter, especially men and women of African descent, who have used their activities and skills to make a difference in our lives, especially, as you all know, those of us Africans in the diaspora. We were daily side. Today I am privileged, though, a very wonderful and a big opportunity to be with a writer and human rights activist, Martins Agbonlahor. Good afternoon, sir, and welcome to the show.
Viewers, I'm delighted to be on your program today. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. As usual, I'm happy to be with you today, actually, because it has been quite some time. And how have you been doing, sir?
Been doing pretty well. Thank you. Everything okay?
Okay. Yes, I'm very glad to hear from you again once more, sir. Yes, anyway, let us go straight. And are you ready to be with us this evening, sir? Are you very ready to be with us this evening? Because we have plethora of questions to ask you, and we'll be delighted that you explain or you give details or you give answers to my questions blow by blow. Are you ready with us, sir?
Okay. Yes, I am.
Okay, before we start, though I've just given an overview of who you are, could you please describe yourself in a few sentences, and let's see who we're talking to, so that our viewers can actually know the person we are talking about, or I am with this evening. Go ahead.
I can. My name is Martins Agbonlahor. I'm a journalist, editor, essayist, and author. I write to make society a better place to live in, and the fictional characters that I create are my crusaders and arrowheads in that regard. Thank you.
Yes, I would have expected you to tell me more about yourself. But anyway, you just want to put it in this manner. I know that if you want to give a clearer description of yourself, you go further than that. Do you agree with me, sir?
It's okay. This is my profession. So, it's all right.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Okay, let us go straight to the nitty-gritty of this conversation this evening, Professor Martins, if you permit me to say that. Yes. It would appear that it's up to 2 years that we heard from you, having published Unsilenced, The Struggles for Women's Rights in Nigeria, a book I personally enjoyed so much. Was that our last book? And was that your last book, Mr. Martins? Na different ways I would they call you Professor, Sir, Esquire, Mr. So just permit me to use any of these appellation on you, sir. And so the question is that was that your last book after the Unsilenced? And if not, what are you doing at the moment? If that is not your last book, what are you doing at the moment, sir?
Thank you. I remember that book very well. Unsilenced, The Struggles for Women's Rights in Nigeria, which I published. But let me crave your indulgence, moderator, and remind you that I had actually published the second volume of my collection or compendium of critical essays. It was released in September of last year and titled Not Yet Freedom. That book is available even as we speak and on sales in all online bookstores, including Amazon Italia. So to answer you succinctly, sir, I'm still as prolific as before. In fact, for me personally, not to write is treason.
Not to write is treason.
Yes.
Then who's going to prosecute you? Okay, go ahead, sir.
Thank you. I think I've answered the question.
Okay then. So thank you very much, Prof. And I am very sure that this evening we are going to have a very robust conversation. You've been able to give blow by blow as to the questions that I've been asking you. So let us move to the next question. This very one again is another question that concerns your book. Because I remembered being told recently that you had edited a book again, apart from the one you just told me that you wrote. And it is titled Vendetta. And had been written by one writer, they call Maria Corelli. I am prompted to ask you 2 questions in this regard, sir, Mr. Martins. Number 1, is it allowed to publish books originally written by another author? My other question is, are you deviating from your renowned critical style of writing? Because now I can see that you've ventured into something new. Can you please, address our audience on this?
Well, thank you very much. Well, first and foremost, if you had been told that I edited a book recently, I'm quoting you verbatim, then I'm vindicated. Such revelation buttresses the fact that I am still writing. Thank God. Okay, I will answer your question starting from the latter. No, I'm not deviating from my style of writing, sir. Rather, I'm contributing to the body or corpus of literature which are now out of print by virtue of their expiration of their copyright. There are a multitude of young readers nowadays, including the so-called Generation Z, who will struggle to understand or fully comprehend a Corelli novel, or an Oscar Wilde novel, or Jonathan Swift, or George Eliot, etc., 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 because of the pictorial style these writers had adopted in their writings. And that's where people like us, the editors and annotators, come in. Your first question is as to whether it is allowed to republish works that are now in the public domain.
Exactly.
It's a valid question, sir. It's a valid one. Yes, it's perfectly legal for you to republish these books because their original copyright had expired and no longer protected by intellectual property law. In the UK, for example, you can republish a work of literature whose original author had died over 70 years ago. Marie Corelli, of the blessed memory, died 100 years ago. And when that anniversary was commemorated, I was there personally at a grave site at the Evesham Road Cemetery at Stratford-upon-Avon in the UK to pay my obeisance and draw inspiration from the late amiable author. Taking our discussion closer home to Nigeria, books become part of public domain 70 years after the death of the original author. In this vein, therefore, sir, if Professor Wole Soyinka, for instance, another hero of mine, dies today, my children or their children's children can dig up Soyinka's The Man Died or The Trials of Brother Jero and republish them and sell them. I am selling my public domain books today because it is quite legal to do so. And of course, as a man of principle, I wouldn't condone any form of illegality. That's not my style. Personally, as an author, if I die 70 years after my death, your children or your children's children could publish any of my books and sell them and make money out of it. It may interest you, sir, that I'm doing my third public domain book at the moment, all on Marie Corelli.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Martins. Then why Marie Corelli, if I may ask? Why Marie Corelli? Why? Why not another person? Why are you fixed on her? Yeah.
That's a valid question there. Well, Corelli was a writer who rose above others in the Victorian era. That is from 1837 to 1901. She was born illegitimate, quote and unquote, and that attracted prejudice and outright discrimination. In fact, to be born out of wedlock then was tantamount to being an outcast, shunned by society. This woman did not let these epithets define her, as she took to writing, churning out volumes upon volumes, so much so that her novels became bestsellers. It is on record that The Sorrows of Satan, published in 1895, recorded sales far more than any previous novels written in English. Corelli was a staunch feminist who believed that women should not only have more power and recognition, but be considered the equals of men. In pursuit of her chosen career, therefore, she refused to be defined by the stereotypes heaped on women by society. She not only depicted these in her novels, but aimed to correct them. Her pen was her AK-47, which she wielded vigorously, unafraid to utter her opinions no matter what. Put succinctly, she saw nothing sacred or daunting to write about. Corelli's ascendance to the top of her vocation endeared many to her, and like the biblical aphorism of the rejected stone becoming the head cornerstone, she was courted by many, including fellow writers like Lord Tennyson and Oscar Wilde. The British Prime Minister at that time, William Gladstone, regarded Corelli as one of the profound thinkers and sage of the century. Her Majesty the Queen, Victoria, who read Corelli's work copiously, ensured she obtained every copy of her novels. She was also highly revered by Winston Churchill, King George, and the Tsarina of Russia. The Queen of Italy, Margherita of Savoy, was also a great fan of Corelli's work. In fact, her fame was so great in the United States of America that Corelli City in Colorado was named after her. To cut the long story short, sir, this remarkable woman, a philanthropist, she donated lavishly to good causes. I appreciate Corelli because of her rich array of literary skills and her godlike imagination in transforming the unbelievable into the believable. There's no gainsaying the fact, sir, that Corelli has left her footprints discernible in the sands of time. And it's an honor and privilege that I'm able to produce her work for youngsters to read. I will urge your readers to get a copy of any of her novels, and I guarantee they will be spellbound from the beginning to the end. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Professor Martins. And this takes us to another interesting question. And I would like to ask you this way: that do you mean that anyone out there can just resubmit something published by another author and pocket the proceeds or the royalties, as the case may be?
Exactly. And that's if the book's copyright has expired. But again, I must forewarn some gullible viewers who may be deceived or bamboozled into believing that there's an easy money making venture out there called public domain books. Now, if you must publish a public domain book, you must make sure you've read this book. You know it in total, its strength and where it fails, as the case may be. You must do your research. You must employ or put you to use your editorial skills or hire someone to do that for you. In what historical context was that book written? Are you able to edit and annotate it realistically? What about the cover design? Does it encapsulate the plot at all? These, my dear moderator, are some of the salient points you need to take into consideration. Otherwise, Amazon will reject it outright and ban you from further submissions. So we've got to be very careful.
So from what you have just explained, it is not as easy as we see it then, or as it sounds.
Well, yeah. Survival of the fittest. My principle is that anything worth doing at all is worth doing well. You must be thorough. It's either you do it well or don't do it at all. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Prof. Martins, I can see that, the manner with which you answer your questions are quite clear, lucid, and to the point. And we look forward to having you another day, but don't go away because we have more questions to ask you. I just want to throw this one in immediately to remind you that our viewers will be delighted to have somebody of your caliber, this evening. And importantly, too, let us go to the next question, because I'm aware that you've written so many books, you are author of so many books. And the question I want to ask you is that because it amazes me to see that, within the space of 1 or 2 years, you're already out with another book. And it beats the imagination of our teaming fans and viewers and those that are your fans too, that read your book. If you can tell me, how do you get your materials? How do you search for your materials, for your work? How is it easy for you to just go about it and get a book of maybe 100 or 200 pages and you are out again for another one? Can you please tell us, sir?
That's a valid question, sir. And I'll answer you is to the point. Well, I get my the sources for my materials. I get them from virtually everywhere: newspapers, television, social gatherings, social media, or through informal conversation, or what we Nigerians call gisting. Let me say this. There are places I go in the city of Manchester, and my partner will go berserk, shouting herself hoarse. Why are you messing with this class of people? The troublemakers, layabout, rumor mongers. You mustn't be seen with them. You see, but that's where you get your materials. If, for instance, I am researching on the smuggling of vulnerable Africans from Senegal to the Comoros, you wouldn't expect me to go to the British Parliament or the House of Lords for that. You get the right materials from unconventional places where these so-called rumor peddlers dwell. I mean, after all, in fairness to them, they say every rumor has an element of truth. Anyway, we'll save that for future discussion.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. So from what you just explained in maybe 2 minutes, that's sufficient for you to get all these books that you have?
Yes, certainly. It depends on the book you want to write. You got to research it. The book is already on your head. It's just getting it from your head to your fingers and then to the pen. And then you do your research, you do your interview, you go to these unconventional places to get the gist, to get what you're going to write about. And you just get it. You collect all of them in your head and begin to get them on paper. That is where the big work comes in, getting it to paper. Because I remember I work up to 4 a.m. I sleep at 4 a.m. every day. Drive my family mad. But what do you have to do? Because it's my profession. You got to toil for it. Nothing is easy. When you take pain, you also get gain. So I think I must say I'm delighted so far for what I've been able to do. But it's not been easy anyway, but we will always get there.
Yeah, that is correct. Yes, we finally get into our my last question for you. But before then, what do you have to tell willing authors?
Well, yeah, upcoming authors, I would just tell them to keep writing. As the idea comes, just keep writing. Write, submit, write, submit. And I also advise, don't read your draft. If you're going to write maybe 10,000 words and you've written 5,000, you go to read it again, correct it. Just keep writing. Just keep writing.
Okay.
And when you write, you submit it. And remember, sometimes you are rejected. Every authors, our works have been rejected several times. You see, so rejection is part of the game. And I also advise upcoming authors, don't be thinking that you're going to make money out of this. You see, let it be a creativity. Let it be what you like. Let it be what you follow. Let it be your vocation. Then you chase it. And if money comes, fine. But don't just put it first and say, okay, now I'm going to make money. Let me write. No. The ratio of making money through writing is very slim. But if you have the passion for it, it is passion that matters. You continue to write. But who knows? One day, God may smile at you. But just keep writing. If you have the creativity, write. Don't reverse your draft because you are just dragging yourself back. Just keep writing. Submit to editors. They edit it, and if they refuse your work, don't be dampened by your refusal. It's part of it. Just take it as a stepping stone for you to get stronger. That's my advice for you.
Thank you very much. Just keep writing is the message. Keep writing and don't look back. Keep writing and don't look back. Okay, finally, Professor Martins, can you enlighten us on your writing process? Can you please tell us that so that our teaming viewers too can buy from your idea?
Yes, I can. I remember during my embryonic stage of writing that I used to draw inspiration from my departed mother before I put pen to paper. But alas, I know this one will sound laughable, but alas, it appears my mother has now left me to devise other methods. And I'm delighted to tell your viewers, although I'm not encouraging drunkenness, but I'm delighted to tell your viewers that a pint of Guinness stout charges my mental batteries and prepares my mind for the intellectual voyage I'm about to undertake. I mean, something must spark the imagination. Well, let's cut the cargo and come to the horses. My writing process entails me putting my plot before my assembled characters and watching them play their roles. If they are unable to execute my message realistically, I assign them other roles, or worse, kill them, literally speaking.
Okay.
That said, the writer must be totally and utterly involved in the way these characters are shaping things up. Rejoice with them as they satisfy your requirement. You must also empathize with them as they wriggle their way through the intricacies of your plot, unlike the plot of my current work in progress, which is very, very complex. So much so that I had to kill one of my protagonists to maintain the flow. It affected me so much that I actually wept before my partner, who knows my story, because all these stories that I write, I tell my partner, I tell my family, they are all part of it, you see. And I remember my partner actually telling me, she was wondering, but you're crying. If you knew this would affect you so sorely, you could have left the protagonist to remain. That's what she said. But the gentleman had to die so that my plot will be fulfilled. I think same goes for the biblical Jesus, who died for the fulfillment of the gospel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, quite interesting, Prof. And I know that our teaming fans out there will understand now that your writing process is not quite easy, and oftentimes too, you weep because of, like what you said, that your protagonist, you have to kill your protagonist. So basically, so they understand, and for the very first time I'm getting this, and I'm sure that subsequently, when anybody asks me, how to prepare things like that, if I cannot get to you very quickly, I can be able to give them, a little bit of explanation as to this. Anyway, let us go back to this, your Guinness stuff. You just mentioned something. You just talked about Guinness stuff.
Sorry, sir, can I add? If any of yours are struggling to put pen to paper or to get their ideas, please let them have my website. My website is www.martinsagbonlahor.com. let them write to me. I'm ready to help them, to help them along their intellectual voyage to ensure that they get there. And I'm practically going to take nothing from them. For the benefit of the fact that they are listening to your program, they are part of it, I will do it for them free of charge.
Thank you very much, and I'll keep this. I'll keep this promise, Professor Martins. And you talked about Guinness Stout, that is what charges your mental battery. And I remember the saying that Guinness is good for you. Do you agree?
Yes, yes, I do, yeah. But anyway, moderation is the key. You see, I'm not preaching drunkenness here. Moderation is the key. Yes, it really fires up my imagination. I don't know why, because like I told you, I used to.
Why Guinness? Why Guinness? Why not something else?
Because you just answered because it is good for you.
So it is good for you.
Yes, exactly. And the other things, maybe there's something in it that really sparkles the brain. In any case, but moderation should be the key. So please.
All right. Thank you very much. Because of time and space, I will want to tell our teaming viewers out there that we are going to end it this way, and we look forward to seeing you, Prof, here in Italy, in our studio here, where you come over and we discuss issues that are affecting us in Turin. So when will you be ready? I want you to say it.
Yes, I'll be here next year again. I think I'll be here next year, say by April. I'll come to Italy by April. And if your viewers have any questions for me, let them prepare loads of it. And I'll be there to distill these questions, into manageable format.
I think we are going to do that actually, because we need your presence here physically so that our people can ask you questions. This one that we just did now, I know most of them will come to me and say, why did you bring him live? And let us hear from him directly while we talk to him, and, question and answer time too. So I will apologize and let them know that your crowded schedule did not permit us to do so. Am I correct to say that?
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I also crave their pardon here, any of them listening, because my schedule is so tight. Because besides my work as an author, I'm also an independent journalist. I write for newspapers. And besides, I also correct work projects from university students. So I'm really tired academically. But in any case, I'll be in Italy next year, and let them prepare their questions for me, and I hope we're able to open up together and enjoy the experience.
Yes, and I think that you will allow us to, when we have any question or questions to ask in view of what you have just explained, we'll please create that opportunity for us to reach out to you in this manner. I think that is considered too.
Yes, certainly. All manners. Just let them get in touch with me. I've just given you my website. If they could go into it, just.
Can you please repeat again?
Certainly, it's at www.martinsagbonlahor, one word, martinsagbonlahor.com. My books are there, interviews are there, everything there. And if they want to reach me, my contact is also there. So they should get in touch with me so that we can, like radio journalists would say, so that we can vibrate on equal frequencies.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, anyway, thank you very much, Professor Martins Agbonlahor, for being part of this show. Any last message?
The pleasure is mine, JP. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate your show as well, because I know what you'll be doing, try to make people create our awareness, and you'll be doing a brilliant job, and I quite appreciate it. So thank you very, very much, sir, and have a nice day.
Thank you very much. Bye, Prof. See you again. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah. My people, make we go back to our own way. I want to sincerely thank all of you. Those of you that are out there that are listening right now. I know we just bump on you guys now, impromptu. Now we take come on you guys. But however, I just want to remind you that we are set again to start JP Life in full throttle. And please, if you don't feel delete yourself, add yourself this time around now, because we have a lot to talk about. The politics in Nigeria is another story that we need to know. And the happenings in Italy, the happenings in the world now requires many of us to distill it the way it is. And that is why JP Live is on board again to start the show. So please join us. Thank you very much. And I want to thank our crew, Engineer Ken, our young and brilliant president. I want to thank you. And Dickney, thank you. And those out there that are working assiduously, making sure that JP Live is back and alive again. And I wouldn't forget to say a big shout out to Chief Priest, Senior Seye, and Uncle Agbon, Teddy, Uncle Teddy. Thank you very much, guys, and I remain yours sincerely, Iredus GP, and see you again. Bye for now. One love.